Hi, this is Linda and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be unboxing the Cocoa Daisy collection for May 2025 Flourish and putting together some projects in my daughter's album for 2021. Let's go ahead and dive in. Okay. I'm always so excited to open this package every month, and I will admit I already peaked because this came earlier this week when I couldn't film and I couldn't wait to look at what was in here. But I also have to say, I think this is my favorite Cocoa Daisy collection of all time. I know that is really strong words, but it might be. It's just so gorgeous. So this is called Flourish, which fits. It's a very floral and springy May collection, perfect for this time of year. And I always get the little sticker. My plants are rooting for me. Super cute. I'm gonna start with the Classic Cousin sticker kit. I'm gonna put these to the side. So Classic Cousin sticker kit just comes with some flat sticker sheets. So these are perfect for using in the Hobonichi Cousin, but you can also use them in any other journal or planner. There's always a couple of sheets with these stickers that fit really well on the weekly pages. I love that one so much. It's so pretty. Can't wait till May so I can use it. But these other ones are just spring colors, so I could use these now. There's always a sheet of washi stickers. Really love this. Then you get into more of the planner stickers. So we've got all these days of the week, some headers that are really useful, some icons. There's always an alpha and a number set, some more washi strips, some more icons, and some of my favorite word phrase strips, and then some useful planner icons. Next, I get the washi trio. Okay, these three are all super versatile. I love the color palette this month. I think this middle one is my favorite, but I can see using all of these in my projects and my journal pretty frequently. Next, I'm gonna open the stationery kit. I did put it in here backwards because I did take it out. I'm just gonna move that to the side and take everything out of the package. So this stationery kit is perfect if you want a lower price point and just to have a little sampling of products that will fit in with journaling, scrapbooking, whatever it is that you want to do. So there's a little pin in here, and this one just seems like a classic Cocoa Daisy pin, so that'd be great to put on some of my just like storage items. There's these super cute charms. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with those yet. Another washi tape. I'm gonna go ahead and swatch this one. It's a nice basic green grid, super useful in journals, planning, and scrapbooking. There's always like a sticky note pad in here, and I really like to use these in my journal to kind of separate things, so I'm probably gonna put one in here on this spread, but I just love this as like a highlight. There is a 4x6 card. These are like a nicer quality. So like a postcard, so you could use it as an actual postcard, but I like to use these in project life. There are some sticker sheets. We've got days of the week, so perfect for planning. See, these are my favorite this month. Some nice flat stickers and another decoration sheet. Got these clear stickers. That's upside down. Hard to see them. There you go. Super cute. Then we have a sheet of vellum. This month it has some like gold sparkles in it and a transparency. And you guys, this transparency is so gorgeous. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with it, but I love it so much. I need to find a good use for it. It's just so cute. Then we have some die cut pieces. Okay, so these die cut pieces are stickers and they are vellum. So they're a little translucent and that makes them a little thinner. So perfect for using in journals. And it's just a collection of florals. And then probably my favorite thing in this kit this month, we've got this roll of stamps. So they look like postage stamps, but they're not. They're just cute washi stickers. And it's not automatically sticky on the back, but I'm pretty sure they are sticky. Let me see. Like it definitely has like a coating. Let me just try one. So let me get my scissors. Just cut it here like a stamp. And then I need to peel the back. And then you have this beautiful sticker. Did I do that straight? It's straight enough. So there's a whole roll of them. There's all these different images before it starts repeating again there. So it's all of those. So cute. These are going to be used in like all of my projects because they're just so cute. And then I'm just going to put this, it comes with like the sticky piece to hold the end down. I'm just going to keep that so it stays. Okay, now I'm going to slide this stuff off and pull out my scrapbooking kit with the pocket card add-on because that's what I'm going to use for my first project. Okay, so I'm going to start with the washi tape. Always comes with a roll of washi tape, and I'm going to swatch it along with my others. It's just a super cute blue pattern. I feel like the one in the scrapbook kit is always more versatile for scrapbooking, which makes sense, but I can often use all of them in my scrapbook pages, but this one would be really great for a base for embellishment clusters. I'm going to save the cards for last. Start with the papers in the back. Oh, actually, let's start with the rub-ons. So there's a sheet of rub-ons, super fun. Then we have our pattern papers. So they've been coming with 2 white papers now. Very nice to have just the basics. And then there's 2 of each double-sided sheet. Chipboard. Always love the chipboard. I'm gonna move this out of the way now. There's these little metal tags this month. These are just so cute. Not sure where I'm gonna use them, but they're adorable. It's always a 3x4 stamp set, and this one just looks super versatile. There's a lot of text and some little floral elements. Got some large tags. I will admit, I kind of struggle to use the large tags. They're so cute, and then I just never think about how to use them. So maybe I'll try to do that this month. These are some like foam word strips. I like that they're gonna add some dimension to your page. The alpha this month are these small puffy ones. There's always enamel dots. Then we got our die cut pieces. So just like the ones in the stationery kit, these ones are stickers, but they are paper rather than vellum. So they're less translucent and a little thicker. And there is like you can write on them. So we have some labels. Those would be super useful. It's a lot of little pieces in here. Super cute. Okay, now the journaling cards. Let's do the 4x6 first. I love this font so much. A photo list if you want to do that. I'm gonna move that one so it's not touching the paper that it matches. A spring card. And then of course our monthly calendar. And then we have our 3x4 cards. love this kit so much. I'm obsessed with so many of these pieces. So I'm going to start with my daughter's album. So I'm going to go ahead and push this stuff out of the way and show you guys what my setup is for that. Okay, so if you are new here, I shared in a previous video, which I will link down below, my plan for tackling my daughter's album. So if you don't know, my daughter is almost 20 and I am going through and filling in her childhood albums. There are pages I've made through the years. There are a lot of gaps when I wasn't scrapbooking. There are pages that I have made more recently. But what I'm doing this year, and I did it last year too, is using my Cocoa Daisy kits to prompt me to kind of finish that month in a prior year. So this is a May kit, so I'm using it to do May 2021. So these are the pages that I did last month for April 2021 using the April kits from Cocoa Daisy. I did these two, and then I had already had this one in here. So now I'm gonna move on to May. So how I figure out to approach this, the first thing I did was I went and looked back in my Project Life album from May 2021, and I took some notes in my planner here of what happened that month based on my flip through of my 2021 Project Life. So my Project Life album is from my perspective. My daughter showed up in there. She was not the main focus, but anytime there was a story that kind of involved her, I wrote it down here. So I know kind of what were the big highlights for the month that I want to document in her album. Then I also looked at what I already have in here, and I didn't have anything for May 2021, but I know there were a few big things that happened that month. So she had her birthday, she turned 16, and we took a trip to Vermont, a road trip. It was our first trip post-COVID to visit some family and, you know, do some more outdoor activities because it was still 2021. And she also got her COVID vaccine. So those were kind of the big things that happened that month. I have a few other notes of things that happened, but I wanted to document those. So then the next thing I did was look back through my project plans. So if you've been following me for a while, you know I do a lot of project planning using specific kits, and sometimes I have a chance to get to those, other times I don't. So I have this running list here of all of the projects I have planned for her albums that I have not yet made. And on this list, I was looking through here, I have a recap of a Vermont trip. And I had planned for that to be a 12 by 12 page divided page protector. And I had planned a 9 by 12 insert, but I saw I had this 8.5 by 11 insert from April 2021. So I'm gonna redo that as 8.5 by 11. It still works with the page layout. So I'm gonna have a spread here recapping our trip to Vermont. So I know I'm gonna do that. That's using a different kit, so I'm not gonna use this kit for that spread, but I know that that's there. Then I'm going to do what I've been doing all year and the year prior, which you can see here, some of my previous ones, is do one divided page protector to kind of recap the month. So I'm gonna do that here using this kit, and I'm gonna know that I don't need to include that Vermont trip because it's going to be on these other pages. I also have this insert that I made last year using the kits, one of the kits from Cocoa Daisy. I think this was the April kit. And I told a story from June of 2021. So now this is May we're recapping. And then I have some other projects here from later in the year. And so I have the back of this. So I'm thinking maybe I could use this to document something about her turning 16. I might also need to do some other inserts. So I'm going to move over to my computer and look at what photos I have for this time period and work on editing and printing those for all of these projects. And then I'm gonna pop back on here and put this one together, and I'll see what else I want to do. Okay, so you can see I printed and cut a ton of photos. And what I decided to do, I'm just gonna pull my album out again. So what I had talked about before was I have this 8.5 by 11 full page photo and this spread, which is about our Vermont trip. So I printed all the photos for that. I'm not gonna put that one together in this video because that's planned using a different kit, but I'm gonna try to do it this month and I will share it on Instagram when that's complete. On the back here, I'm gonna do my usual May recap. So that's gonna use this kit. And then I wanted to do something for my daughter's birthday. And I have this 6 by 8, so I wanted to do a full photo of her. But as I was looking through photos, I realized I had a lot more. So I grabbed one of these and I'm gonna crop it down to the 6 by 12 size so that I just have the one side of pockets to create an insert with some additional stuff from her birthday. So I'm also going to make that one. I'll probably do both of these on this video. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take all of this stuff out of here for these, well, for the whole thing. I'll just take it all out so I can put this album to the side because it's just so big. Okay, so then I'm gonna sort out my photos. So I have this one. So these are the Vermont photos. So we went to visit my daughter's cousins in Vermont. So these are the photos from that. So that I'm just gonna put to the side. And then for her birthday, so her birthday ended up falling in Week in the Life this year. So I had a lot of photos and this was during COVID. Still, it was 2021. So what we decided to do was we had her have one friend to sleep over and another friend to go out to dinner. She got a bike for her birthday and we went for a hike. She was really into hiking at this point. And then here's another photo of her with that friend. And then this photo was taken during Week in the Life. It's the same day we went for the hike, I think, because the pants match, which was like the Saturday. So we kind of did her birthday fell on the Sunday and we kind of did birthday stuff Friday through Sunday. So I didn't end up printing any of the photos of her unwrapping presents because they didn't come out great. But I think that these ones will all fit on that insert. And then this will be that 6 by 8 photo. So I'm gonna put that to the side. And then I have these ones to go in my main recap, which is going to be everything else that happened that month. So I think maybe I'll do the birthday one first because I think that will be super easy. So let me see, I have this and then I need to trim down this page protector. So they do sell ones, I think, that are the 6 by 12 with the same pocket configuration of this where it's 2 4 by 6, 2 3 by 4. But I have always found it's cheaper to just buy these big ones in bulk and then trim them down yourself because then you have flexibility. And I don't really scrapbook 12 by 12 anymore, so I have a lot of them. So I'm happy to kind of use them up. So I think I wanted to do this one on the front and then kind of go through. So the first thing actually we did was she had the sleepover with her friend. And so we had the sleepover with a friend, the hike, and then we had dinner with the other friend on her actual birthday. And then she also got a bike for her birthday. So here's her putting that together. And then, so I think what I want to do is a journal card of like recap and then kind of telling the story. So I'm going to go through these and then a journal card maybe, I don't think anything in here actually says happy birthday. So I might use like these to say happy birthday. We'll see. So I'm going to go through the cards. This one I'm going to put to the side because I'm going to use that in Project Life for 2025. Okay, so I think that this is a good starting point. I'm going to do my journaling on here about her birthday and kind of what we did. I'm going to go back and look through my Week in the Life album to get some ideas for kind of remembering what the story was. And maybe I'll do like bullet points or numbers or something to figure out the ordering. And then I think this one would be super cute to put a big 16. I might need to bring a stamp in from my stash for that, just to stamp like the large 16. I also think that if you wanted to, you can make this a nice filler card by like putting this ampersand in the middle there, or even like this one, I think would be cute. I think I'm gonna cut these out and put that on this picture of her. Maybe some of the butterflies or something on there too. And just have a little fun embellishing this one. So I'm gonna put you guys on fast forward and do that. Oh, I also forgot to mention, I want to put something on here, but I'm not entirely sure exactly what this will be. But I'm gonna put you guys on voiceover and get this one put together.
Okay, so I'm starting with this one for my daughter's birthday, and then I will do the monthly recap at the end. I'm going to start with the journaling, and I'm using my current favorite fountain pen, which has a brown ink in it. It's called Raw Sienna from Diamine, and it's in a TWSBI Eco fine tip, which is not really very fine in my opinion, but I still very much enjoy it. I did use a fountain pen in one of my recent Project Life videos, and I've started to try to kind of overlap my hobbies a little bit using my journaling supplies in my scrapbooks and vice versa, but I'm not using my fountain pens in most scrapbooking. You really have to test it out. You test your ink out on your papers before you use them. I had previously tested out my fountain pen ink, or this specific ink, on the Cocoa Daisy paper, and I knew it was going to work. So that's why I used it here, and I thought the brown would look really nice with this spread, just recapping my daughter's birthday. So I have 3 photos on the back and 3 photos on the front, and I'm just adding some of the chipboard pieces and kind of looking through how I want to embellish this spread. My main embellishment is going to be on that photo of my daughter that we went on a hike that day. And it's kind of zoomed out, so there's a lot of sky there. And that is going to be my main embellished photo for her birthday. The rest of the spread is going to be pretty basic. And then I'm going to work on this 6x8 photo on the right-hand side. And I'm going to do some rub-ons on there. I decided to work on the pockets first. So I added large stamping with a stamp from my stash to stamp 16 on this journaling card. This journaling card had like this nice circle in the middle, and you definitely could add like a chipboard piece or something in there if you wanted it to purely be a filler card. But I thought it would be a great place to hold the number 16 because this is her 16th birthday that I am documenting. For this card of my daughter, I wanted this to be the main embellished card that kind of stood out. And I really loved this font from this card that says beautiful. It says beautiful, which is, I think, perfect for documenting a 16th birthday. And I decided to fussy cut all of these letters out, and then I'm going to adhere them across the sky on this photo. And I sped that up quite a bit while I was cutting them out because that can be kind of time consuming. And then I decided to use one of these kind of foam, I'm not even sure, like, are they fabric? I guess they're fabric strips that have quotes on them. And none of them were obviously birthday themed, but there were a couple that worked for this birthday spread for this photo. And so I selected one of them, and I can't remember what it is right now, but maybe you can read it in the video. And I will share completed photos of this spread and the other one I make on my Instagram account. So if you wanted to see some still images of how these turn out, head over there, and I will link that in the description box below. I decided to use the washi tape from the kit to add a base to include these letters on. I could have adhered them directly on the sky, but I thought it made a lot of sense to put them on washi tape because it's going to kind of ground them a little bit and help them kind of pop on the spread. Then I'm going to use that fabric strip along the bottom of the text to kind of highlight it and add just kind of like a subtitle to this card. I started adhering these from the center out, and I'm just using my favorite rolling adhesive, and I'm putting it on that piece of cardstock there to roll it out because these are so small. I didn't want to get rolling adhesive directly on my desk. I do it all the time, but then I always end up getting something stuck to it, and it's really frustrating. So having just a piece of scratch cardstock there to do my rolling adhesive on top of worked perfectly. I used some red line tape to adhere down this fabric strip because it was kind of like fuzzy on the back. I thought these were going to be self-adhesive, but they weren't. They're just like a thicker fabric, and the red line tape worked perfectly. I did end up having to tear it up and put it back down because I didn't like how high I had put it because it was covering the bottom of the L, so you couldn't read it. I mean, you could, but it didn't look like an L, it looked like an I. So I wanted to move it down a little bit, and I was able to do that, and that worked out perfectly. I used one of the die cut labels to add to this photo of my daughter's feet and her dog Lola, so I could add a little bit of text on there just about what was going on. And this dog has since passed away, so I liked that I was able to include the dog in her spread here for her birthday because her dog was a huge piece of her life. Then I have this photo of her and her friend in her bedroom. The lighting is weird because she had like LED lights in her room, so I decided to kind of not really do much with it, and I just added a chipboard piece on there and decided that that was sufficient for that spread. And I can go ahead and slip these in the pockets. I really think that beautiful card at the top was my favorite. It turned out how I envisioned it, and I was so happy with that. And I'm just ready to kind of trim everything down and slip it into the pockets. Sometimes the cards don't fit perfectly depending on which pocket you're putting it in the page protector, because the page protector's pockets are 3x4, but some of them are slightly smaller just to account for the extra space needed to create the divider between the pockets, if that makes sense. So I'm having to trim a couple of the cards down as I slip them in. Once I slip these into the pockets, I am going to work on that 6x8 photo, which is a photo of my daughter with her bike, which was the large gift she got for her birthday. She really wanted a bike for her 16th birthday. And so she did get that, and she was super excited about it. And it was really good timing because my daughter turned 16. This was 2021, so we were well into the pandemic. So she was starting to kind of hang out with friends again, but we were trying to find ways for them to stay outside. And a bike was perfect because some of her friends also had bikes, and they spent a lot of time, especially this summer, riding around town on bikes and riding to local parks and that type of thing. So I decided I wanted to embellish this, and I knew I wanted to write birthday girl on it, but I thought I could use some of the rub-ons to add a few more embellishments. And I've added rub-ons on photos in the past, and if you haven't done it, I highly recommend it because it's so fun. They come out so nice. It's almost as if you added it on there digitally, but you get to play with physical supplies. So I'm adding this one down here, which is some text, and you can see as I peel it up, see it looks like it was printed directly on the photo. It's just amazing. What I'm going to try for this spread too is layering some of these different rub-ons. So before I decided to commit to the rub-ons, I decided to look through the other embellishments, but I did go back to the rub-ons, and I wanted to do like a flower, and I wanted it to be slightly bigger. So what I do is I layer it on that green, I don't know what you would call that. I guess it's like a paint smear from the rub-ons, which is perfect for like the background of a layered embellishment cluster. And then I'm going to layer that flower on top. If you wanted a little more dimension, you could do a piece of the rub-on and then layer on top of it the die cut piece. And I think that would have worked perfectly as well. You just can't put the rub-ons on top of other uneven embellishments. They need a completely flat surface. But I did layer these two rub-ons on top of each other, and I was so thrilled to see that it worked. I was kind of nervous because I'd never done it on top of another rub-on, and I wasn't sure if it would like rub off the first one, but it didn't. So you can see it works perfectly to layer that floral right on top of the green. And then I'm going to use that as a base for my title. But I am going to add another one of these black words because I just love how perfect they looked on the photo. And it was just kind of a fun way to add a little bit of kind of whimsy to this photo. So I'm going to use the alpha stickers from the kit to write birthday girl on the top of that floral there. I'm just pulling these out of the package, and I staple the alpha sheet to the backer that comes in the package so that it has that substance or that piece of cardstock behind it while I put it in my stash, and it's not going to be flimsy, but I don't put it back inside the plastic because it's easier to kind of just pull from it like this. Hopefully that makes sense, but I have shown that in some previous videos. So I'm just writing out birthday girl. I'm putting it straight across the top of the flower. And then I'm going to put the girl down beneath on more so on the flower. And I'm really happy with how this came out. I think maybe I would have liked it if the birthday part was popped a little bit more against the background, but that flower did help provide a lot of contrast, so it ended up working out well on here. I considered adding a few more embellishments, but I decided to leave that portion and instead pulled over some of the chipboard butterflies. And rather than putting them in that same cluster, I just added 3 of them across the photo to have, like a balance of 3 embellishments, which is always a good number to use when you're trying to scatter embellishments on a photo or a spread. I'm going to slip the rub-ons back into the package, because when you do use rub-ons, you'd have to be careful to keep those in the package. Otherwise they will rub off onto stuff in your stash. And then I was about to slip it into the pocket, but I decided I wanted to just add a rolling date stamp on here. This was her birthday, so I knew what date it was. And I don't add dates on everything, but because these recaps are monthly, I know what month it is and I know which year, because it's technically like in that order in the album. But sometimes I like to add dates to provide a little bit of extra context, especially something like this when I know the date. Of course, when I'm flipping back through the album later, I'm going to know the date too, because I won't forget her birthday, but it still added a little something to the page. Now I'm moving on to my recap spread. And if you've watched these videos in the past, you know that I usually start with the recap spread. And this month I decided to do this portion after the birthday one, just because I felt like this was going to be a very simple spread. Because this month had both that travel, which I'm not doing in this video, but I did actually put together, so I will share that one over on my Instagram. And it also had that birthday recap. There wasn't really a lot else to document, but there were a surprising number of photos. So one of the benefits to me of COVID was that because my daughter was a teenager, I saw a lot more of her than I would have otherwise. So I did have a lot of photos from this time period because I spent a lot of time with her. And she was at an age where she wanted to spend a lot of time with her friends, but she couldn't, not nearly as much as she wanted to. So I did end up spending a lot of time with her and entertaining her and trying to come up with ways to keep her busy so she wasn't bored and sad about not being with her friends. But the perk for me was that I got to spend more time with her, and I got a lot of photos from this time period because there was just a lot going on, which I'm super happy with, because now that she doesn't live at home, I don't see her as often, and when I do, we rarely take photos. So it's just really nice to have a lot of these photos to look back on. I decided to add the dates on this title card just because I had the rolling date stamp out already. And then I used this 1, 2, 3 card to recap 3 big stories from the month. There were a variety of other little stories that happened, but I really loved the way this card looked, and I thought that this would be a good way to kind of highlight the 3 big things, which were her birthday, our Vermont trip, which were both documented in other spreads, but I wanted to put them on this recap in word form because they aren't represented in the photos, just to kind of point out that they were a big part of May. And then the 3rd story is that she got her COVID vaccine. I'm rearranging photos just to kind of make them balance a little bit more with the white cards, so the white cards aren't touching because all the photos are a little bit dark. And then I wanted to do something to embellish my photos. This card in the kit says relax, refresh, recharge, and I thought these would be some good embellishments to add to 3 of my photos and kind of add a little bit of design throughout the spread, because all of these are the same design from all 3 of these words. So it's going to be uniform across the spread, and I thought that that would look really nice. So I'm just trimming each of these out, and I'm going to add them to 3 of the photos. They're kind of random where they're placed, but a lot of these photos kind of fit those themes, so I tried to sort of make it fit. So that photo there, my daughter was like sitting out on a picnic blanket in our backyard. She just decided to like hang out there. And then I have this one of her with the dog, and then another one of her on the couch with the dog, which I thought were just good photos to add those words on. And then I wanted to add something else. So I added one of the enamel dots on top of each of those. Typically when I do an embellishment cluster, I add 3 things, but for these ones I decided to add 2. It felt like it was busy enough. There was enough going on that I didn't need a 3rd embellishment. looking at it now while I'm doing the voiceover, I think I could have added a tiny attacher staple, or maybe even added some washi tape behind all of those other things. And then I just added a chipboard piece on that 4x6 photo of my daughter with her ice cream. And for these ones on the bottom, I have 2 3x4 photos in a 4x6 pocket. So I'm adhering them together using some washi tape. This is something I do pretty frequently because I do have more 3x4 photos and I want to be able to include more photos. So I'm often putting those into the 4x6 pockets. But because I don't have the back of this spread done yet, the back of the spread is not done yet. So it's going to be I think it's going to be June on the back, or maybe it's going to be, it's going to be the Vermont spread. So that one does have 4x6 photos, because what I was trying to get to was the fact that I couldn't switch up what page protector I was using. They do make ones that have more 3x4 pockets, but it was easier for me to just always use the same design A, because that way when I'm using the other side, I don't have to worry about it knowing that there's only 3x4 pockets in case I have a 4x6 photo I want to print. On the other side, when I'm doing that Vermont spread, I do use those pockets as 4x6 because I did have some more horizontal photos from that vacation that I wanted to include. So that wrapped up this spread. I'm going to go ahead and put everything in the album and you'll quickly be able to see it. I don't have the Vermont spread done yet at this point in time, but you can see I have that one and then the birthday spread. Thank you guys so much for being here. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. And as always, I hope to see you guys all in the next one. Bye.